Hello, this is Dyer from Divergence Analysis, and today we're using the Divergence Analysis indicator package for NinjaTrader to look at the Nasdaq June contract on a 1-minute basis. From 2:30 p.m. today till about 4, there were some good signals based on the Divergence Analysis indicator package I'd like to go over. Just as a recap, we're using the DVAN buying selling cycles, DVAN short-term trend, and DVAN signals indicators. So you see the main signals indicated by the green arrows here. There were 4 main signals. First, at 2:38, you see green price bars closing above the pivot line. Green price bars mean buying pressure dominance. Above the pivot line means the trend is up. You also have the short-term trend indicating that we're in a bullish trend on the short-term basis. You see the green histogram here showing bullish trend. The leading algorithm is also up above 0, meaning that the leading and shorter term force is pushing up. And lastly, we see the green arrow, which coincides with the velocity algorithm running underneath, meaning that we're seeing an increase in velocity to the upside here. So we get a nice hit from 238. A good exit point is when you see the leading algorithm come back into the histogram. It means that you're at least seeing consolidation there. So you can see that throughout the remainder of the moves that I'll show you. At the top here we see at 1454, so 254 and 258, 2 red arrows. The red arrows are going to be the prevailing signals here rather than the green arrow that you see. The reason is the red arrows have the checkpoints that we want to go through to make sure and confirm our trade. The red arrows show the velocity is down based on the velocity indicator. We're closing below the price pivot line, which is this gray dotted line here, with red price bars meaning weakness. The green arrow is a false signal to ignore because you see the green arrow is accompanied by red price bars meaning weakness, and actually the short-term trend remains weak throughout this entire period. So you get primed for a short entry there and there. From 258 we get a nice hit to the downside. A good cover for that short position would be when we start seeing the leading algorithm come back into the histogram at about 310. The next long entry signal we see is at 321. We see the short-term trend signaling a bullish trend. We see the leading algorithm up. We've closed above the pivot line with buying pressure indicated by the green price bar, and once again we get a velocity cross right there at 321, which ends up being another good move to the upside. The last move we saw before the close of the day was a short entry, which was the biggest move in this period of time. We see the velocity algorithm crossing below, showing a red arrow. This is accompanied by red price bars, meaning selling pressure dominance, below the pivot line, meaning the trend is down. We've been warned of the short trend to the downside with the red histogram here, and you see that the leading indicator line on the short-term trend is also pushing down. This leads to the largest move in this 2-hour period. But a few successful moves and a good learning point here showing the confirmation of the velocity signals versus a false signal that you see here at 255.